Hello YouTube, I hope everybody is doing fine and is safe, and I have a few new ideas, PCB designs to show. I don't even know where to start. Well, um, let me start here. I thought I had finished the remote PCB, which you can see this one, the new one is slightly taller. So of course, once I finish something, I have another idea and then I start over again. So this is hopefully the final version. The difference to the first one is I did add a vibrating motor to it. These little guys are vibrating motors, as you might know from the pager days. And that will go on to the back of the PCB. I did cheat a little on the footprint. I saw that the footprint for the 10 microfarad electric condensator is the same size as the pins, so I put two of those next to each other with 2.8 millimeter apart, and only had to connect one of them, as the connection to plus minus or minus plus, doesn't matter which way, are needed, and the other ones are just for mechanical hold. So this will go on here, actually the other way around, not that it matters, but so this will go on here, and it will have a vibrating feature. And after I finished that, I routed everything, did the traces, cleaned it up and everything. I thought, oh boy, this doesn't have any LED on it. So then I thought about putting, well, it does have one LED over here, but that's just a charging LED. And I figured I add a NeoPixel, not just a LED, and then I didn't want to put it on the PCB so that the front would have a hole for it. So I put a side emitting NeoPixel, tiny ones up here. I put it on the top. It's on the top of the PCB. And what I will do is, instead of having black surrounding black frame, it will be transparent, like I have here in white. So that way it will shine through the side, and it does also have an LDR, of course, for dimming the screen, so it won't be as bright as at night. So if you hear any noises in the background, that's my wife, sorry about that. It does have 4 touch sensors, one here, one here, one here, and one on the bottom. And don't be scared, that's only 4. I can have a short touch, long touch, single tap, or even double tap. So that could increase the number of functions on the remote. And it will also have, if you want to, a remote start, and it will be two-way. It will get also information from the car and will be able to display it on the display. Obviously it has USB Type-C. I'm switching from micro USB to USB Type-C, and 1 second, I will pause the video. Okay, I'm back, and I forgot where I was, but anyhow, I think it was on the connection. It has a USB Type-C now, so you can plug it in any direction you want, on-off switch, for if you want to switch it off all the way. And it does have a speaker, which is also down here, and that's the side emitting speakers, and they are pretty loud, like I showed in a previous video. So it will have audible, visual, vibration feedback. So the only thing left is that the arms come out and hug you, but other than that, it has everything. It has a ADXL accelerometer chip for motion detection. I don't know if it's gonna be used on the remote. I don't know, maybe I make the screen rotate with the orientation of the piece of the remote, and it does have a BMP 180 temperature and humidity chip. So I think that is all. Oh, it does work with the NRF24 transceivers, which will go onto the back. As you can see here, this is the small one with an internal antenna. I also ordered some modules with attached SMA antenna plug, and that will stick out, as you can see here, like this, and then you can screw your antenna on top of it if you want long range, which will go up to 5 kilometers, which is about 3 miles. So this is my version of a remote. And now this is the front, of course. Let me talk or tell you about this is the receiver part, although it's two-way, but this is the part that you have in your car. And while I was designing this, I thought instead of just having inputs, regular inputs, I do have, well, just instead of having inputs, I figured I add a CAN bus as well. So you can also connect this to your car, connect it to the CAN bus, and have data sent back to your remote, anything that you like. So it will practically be a wireless CAN gauge. So after I thought that, I thought since I wanted to make a CAN bus node for cars that do not have CAN bus or have sensors missing, like in my case, for example, my car does not have an oil temperature, which is the oil temperature sensor here, and I do not have oil pressure. So I will add those sensors to my car, and they will connect to the inputs of this module, and then it will broadcast it over the CAN bus to my CAN bus gauge. So I will add missing sensors. This will also work on all cars that don't have CAN bus at all, or motorcycles. I did add 2 analog inputs with voltage dividers, so 12 volt sensors can be connected, but most sensors are 5 volt, so those can be connected directly, or switches or whatever. And then I also added a RPM tachometer input, so you can use this on any signal that comes to your gauge, to your regular cluster. You can connect here, and then you have the RPM gauge as well. And that's that. And this also has the, again, ADXL 345 that could be used as a motion sensor if your car gets hit, like my parked car was hit the other day, a few weeks ago. It will notify you on your receiver no matter where you are, if you have the extended version up to 5 kilometers. And it has that. It also has, not on here, but I did put it on here, I didn't print it out, the BMP 180 chip, so you can measure the interior temperature of your car before from the far, and then you can, of course, remote start the car and turn on your AC, for example, to heat it up in winter, and then see feedback how warm it is in the car, and then go in if it's warm enough. So this is practically 3-in-1 device. And again, of course, it has it's the NRF24 transceiver module. I did put a way to add a DC-DC converter, because this runs obviously on 12 volt, or if you have 5 volt directly, you can do that as well. But for 12 volt compatibility, I put the DC-DC converter on it. It will use these 3.5 millimeter screw terminals, which go on to the back. So these will be like this, and then you can connect the screw connections to it on the bottom and on the sides. It does have, of course, I can still connect a display to it if I wanted to. And unfortunately I also ordered some 2-inch displays with 320 by 240 pixels, but the connector on those, although the same, they are not at the same position, so I would have to make 2 versions of the PCB if I wanted to go with the 2-inch display. But since this won't have a display at all most of the time, I think it's enough to have the 1.3-inch display for visual feedback if you wanted to. So am I missing something on here? I think I did pretty good so far. This doesn't have, of course, any touch sensors as it will be mounted. Oh, and as antenna, you could also mount the angled antennas. So if you have this somewhere, I will also have boxes for this. I do have some somewhere, but it will come in a box, in a black PVC box or ABS box, and then you can have an antenna like this. Or if you want extended range, you can use a bigger antenna, depending on your requirement. And this is actually not even bound to cars. You can use this anywhere. You can have this in your house. You can use it as a garage door opener, or I mean, you could get 2 receivers and 1 transmitter or 1 sender, and have 1 in your car and 1 at your house, and have like I said, garage door opener, or you could open or turn on the lights or whatnot. Someone asked, it will have AES encryption, so the data transmission will be secure. And I think I pretty much covered it all. Oh, one more thing. As you know, on my altimeter I had the first design on the frame, and well, actually this is not the first design was like this, and then I had trouble to putting it on because of the knob of the on-off switch, and then I just split it on the bottom. But then I didn't like it, even though it gets squeezed in between the top and the bottom PCB. I did not like to have it like that, so I redesigned it and made it into 2-piece design like this, which this is the bottom, and then the top one just gets put on over the top, and you will end up with a design like this. It does, I mean, you can see the split, but it's not moving anywhere, and there's no way that it's gonna move out of the way on the bottom. And this is actually altimeter that I made for a customer of mine. You can see his name if you look closely down here, as a small token of my appreciation, because he had to wait for it. And yes, apropos, we say in Germany, waiting, I still cannot ship to all countries, so I put a link in the description again with the countries I can ship to. I cannot open my Tindy store till I am able to ship to all countries, because otherwise I would have to cancel orders all the time, which I don't want to do. And so if you want to order anything that I have in my Tindy store, please get in touch with me directly, and I will accommodate your wishes. I can ship mostly to European countries around Europe, but also to Hong Kong and some other odd countries. I don't know why I can ship to Hong Kong if I can, but I cannot ship to America. So that was that, I think. Am I missing something? I'm sure I do. But anyway, this is it for today. And I think I really hit the nail on the head with this one, because it's a 3-in-1 product, and most of all, and most important, it can also be used as a CAN bus node. In that case, you don't have to have the remote. You can just get this, obviously without the transceiver module then, and just use it as a CAN bus node, or to add additional sensors to your CAN bus equipped car. Like if it's missing temperature, temperatures, oil temperature, water temperature most cars have, but most cars even do not have oil temperature. So I had a few customers, they had even newer cars than mine, and again the oil temperature was missing. So with that you can just get this little guy mounted in your car, connected to my CAN bus node, and have oil temperature or any other temperature or any other sensor for that matter. So this is it. I also thought about adding a relay on here, but I think that's like pushing the envelope. I would have to increase the size again, and I mean, if you have any outputs that you want to control over relay, you can just connect it to here and use an external relay that's meant for cars with 412 volt or whatnot, or use read relays directly from the connection of the chip. The chip is the Atmega 1284P, so you have plenty of room. I did make a list. Where is it again? So it has way more storage space. The 328 has 32 kilobytes. The 1284 has 128 kilobytes, 4 times as much. The regular 328 has 1 kilobytes of ROM, EEPROM. This one has 4 kilobytes, so 4 times as much. And the SRAM on the 328 is 2 kilobytes, kilobytes, I think. And this one has 16, 8 times as much. So I am sure I can put any code, anything that I want onto here without running out of any room. Same goes for the transmitter. It has also the 1284. I will actually switch to the 1284P chip on all my products that will benefit from the larger storage space. So that was it, guys. These are my new remotes, and I will thank you to my Patreons. I will use that money for this month to order the PCBs, because as you know, I have almost no sales. I had like this sale. This is the only sale I had in the past 2 months, I think it was, because I can ship it to the UK. So any customers from the UK, please, you can place your order. Also, thank you for using my affiliate links, and that helps as well. And yes, that was it. In case you're wondering what this is my development board that I'm making. Again, it has the 1284 Atmega chip. It has a USB to TTL adapter on the board. Autofocus. It has a USB Type C. It has a ISP port for uploading bootloader or even code, but you can just connect it to your computer over USB and upload your code. It has a reset switch, obviously, and some of the components are on the bottom. I wanted to stick to 0805 components, SMD components, on purpose, so this can also be hand soldered, and this will be open source. Yes, it has the pin headers spaced in the correct spacing, so you can plug it into a breadboard, and it will come with a bootloader, and all you have to do is plug it in and upload your code. And most, if not all, libraries for the 328 do work on this chip, so you get all the benefits without any cons. So this is it. It does have a RxTX LEDs here next to the USB connector. I'm holding it upside down. Yeah, I think that was it. What this board is, I'm calling it the Tiny 1284P. So if you're interested, let me know and I will hook you up. And I was gonna have it assembled by Maker Fabs, and I got quoted $150 for 5 PCBs, and I think that's a bit much. So I will assemble those myself for now. I will put it on the regular crowdfunding page. I forgot, not Indiegogo, not Kickstarter, because I can't do those from Bulgaria, but there's another one that I can do, although they stopped communicating with me on my first plan that I had, which was for the color can gauge, I think. I forgot. So I will try again with this one, and if not, I will just make them myself and sell them over my Tindy store. So if you're interested, keep an eye out for this one as well. So that was it. Thanks for watching, and I wish everybody a great week. Take care.